a secret agent once revealed this to me, a behavior that is closely linked to Mihlali Ndamase, right? So when he revealed this, he revealed it to teach me about certain norms and practices in society that are secret norms that represent something of a greater significance, right? So I'm not going to mention these two people that did this, which is something very, very, very big. But he told me this, I think, as he was telling me, I began to see something that Mihlali Ndamase is doing. So today, I want to unpack this. Also, I did my research. I found that white people are practicing this. Wait, guys, that's so funny. White people are practicing this type of a behavior. The same behavior that you are seeing in Mihlali Ndamase. These secret rituals. So let me unpack these rituals that Mihlali Ndamase practices, right? But before I do that, there's only one favor that I'm requesting from you, and that is you subscribe, you like the video, and you comment in the comment section below, because doing all of these things, guys, it is free of charge, right? And it does help out me. It does help me a lot in terms of the fact that I'm gonna make more videos that will keep you informed. So if it does help out a lot, then please do it. Now, I'm gonna start with the story of this guy from he is a secret agent. The other day, he revealed the following to me. He says that two prominent politicians in this country, the other one goes into a hotel, and then he slips into this hotel, which is in Swaziland. When he wakes up in the morning, the hotel staff are supposed to clean up the room before the next guest, right? Wash everything. But they were instructed not to wash the blanket, not to touch anything, until the second politician, who was pursuing power as well, came into the hotel and slept in the very same blanket this other politician slept at. Remember, they are not washed. And then the water that this guy used to bath was also kept. So after sleeping to this, he wake up and bath in the same water where this guy was bathing in, right? After that, he eats the crumbs or this leftovers from this other politician. So you know, most rich people, they eat and they leave those leftovers. But there's something that you need to understand why this behavior was important. This behavior is important because he wants power. So in order for him to take power from the other guy, he needed to do the things that he did. But now the difference is that now it is mixed with the African chemicals. You know what I'm saying? So here, there's a lot of enchantment that is done there. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of witchcraft that is done there in the practice to get it now. So this practice, they do it if they want to capture your energy, your power, your dignity to them. So they will then have your powers. It's more or less like bathwala ngawe uphila. They don't kill you, but bathwala ngawe uphila. Now, to those outside of South Africa that does not understand the language uktwala, I don't know how best can I describe this, but it is when people decide to take those shortcuts to success and they go get some snakes, some funny things, rituals that they practice. You know, sometimes they sacrifice human beings to get money. That process, we call it uktwala. But then there are different types of uktwala that occurs. Now, number two, this stories, they seem identical to what Mihlali Ndamase she's of lately doing, right? But I'm gonna get into Mihlali Ndamase. Mihlali Ndamase is just a starting point. Number two, There's a ritual that is being practiced in this country. Say, not even say, these white folks were caught somewhere in KZN. So what happened is that this prominent guy died. He had power, dignity, and all the stuff. So they wanted his dignity and his power. At night, they go to his grave. They do this witchcraft thing. And then what they do, they go and have sex on top of his tomb. It's part of their rituals. So what they are doing, they are saying they are taking the energy of this person, the power from this person, and everything of this person. If they want your power, say for instance, if when I speak, people will listen to me, and whatever I say, people will do. This ritual, they practice it to get that power, to get what I'm trying to say. So they want to sleep in your tomb, they want to do all these things because they want to get your power, more or less like batwala ngawe. They want your energy, they want your aura, they want your... Those are the practices that are being done in this country. Now, let's go back to the one for Mihlali Ndamase. But before we get into this one, I think I need to make this emphasis. Research this practice. Even white people that came into Egypt to research about Pharaoh, some of them were envious of his power. That's the rituals that they practiced. They wanted Pharaoh's power. So some of the rituals that they practice are the rituals that I've just named. The question here is, a lot of people have been saying, why is Mihlali Ndamase seen doing almost every single thing that the former wife of Leroy Sedambe has been doing? I remember I was listening to some blogger who was saying, it's like watching Mihlali Ndamase, it's like we are getting a formula in which we can date Leroy. Because things that we used to see Mary Jane doing, for instance, going into the office and giving Leroy Sedambe certain things, we have seen Mihlali Ndamase doing almost the same. You know what I'm saying? 2, the clothing that this woman will wear, Mary Jane, Mihlali Ndamase, she's wearing them. That, like, almost, she's mimicking almost all the behavior, to a point that the car that was driven by the first wife, it was the car that was driven by Mihlali Ndamase. It's like she's mimicking every single behavior of the first wife. We are struggling to see her individuality in the process, but we're rather seeing her mimicking that woman. The question that I have for you is that a coincidence, or is that actually a practice? At this moment, I'm not saying she's actually practicing that. At this moment, I'm not saying Mihlali Ndamase, she's of those people, but I'm saying her practice seems identical to the things that I've just told you. Her practice, unless she comes out and clarify, at this moment, what she's doing, it seems and it looks very much identical to that of these people. The question is that I want to leave you with is, can we call this a ritual? Can we call this, I don't know, it's so difficult to look into this. When you have the knowledge that I just shared with you, and you're looking at this behavior, you don't begin to ask those questions. Is this just a normal thing? Because we have never seen people doing it. At this moment, we are saying we want to see Mihlali Ndamase being herself in the thing. We want to see her. We want to see her individuality in this relationship, but rather we are seeing her more or less like acting, portraying the first wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, she keeps doing the things that were done by the first wife. That's more or less like acting. But is this acting a coincidence? Mihlali Ndamase, you owe us an explanation, lest we end up with conclusions that at some point you might say they are ridiculous. Before we get to the point of where we conclude with things that you might consider it so ridiculous, we are saying you need to explain this behavior. We are very much close now into thinking that this is not just a coincidence, because you keep giving us those things. But at the same time, I'm cognizant of the fact that she might be doing it out of revenge, proving a point, because even then, guys, because women take pride of the fact that they are exclusive, the exclusivity, and the fact that they are different from the others. They're so keen about it. That's why they don't want to buy the clothing that was worn by somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking at things from that perspective, and you're like, how is it that this woman seems to mimic this one then? To see what I'm struggling with. But at this moment, I am not saying she is or uthwele ngaye, but I'm saying, please explain this behavior to us. It looks similar to the behavior of people abathwele ngabanye abantu. Unless you explain this, you're going to leave us at the point where we start saying things that might be hurtful to you, and it might be painful to you when we arrive to certain conclusions that you wouldn't like, to a point that you might end up suing us for saying certain things. But we're asking, before it gets to that, please explain. We want to know, why are you doing things this way? Please explain to us. Right? What do you know, guys, about this behavior? I've just told you, Mina, what I know about this behavior. No, man, this behavior, it's so strange. It is so strange, as much as a lot of people have been saying, this behavior is so strange. But I'm saying to you, this behavior, Nami, I don't get it. Now, honestly speaking, I don't get it. Tell me what you think about this. I'll see you in the next video. But until that next video, please take care.